And it goes a little something like this.
On Air,
the official radio show of the Australasian Association.
Good afternoon, Melbourne. It's another Friday and only a couple more hours until beer o'clock. We hope the uni week hasn't been too stressful for you. Good afternoon, Louisa and Dihan.
Good afternoon, but I think the weekend has started for some of us already. Early.
Yeah, I can see that. You
in
guys,
our faces.
Yes, and your very flushed and tired looks on your face. It's a beautiful day outside, isn't it? And we're stuck in this windowless shoebox for the next hour and a half. So this is On Air, the official radio show of the Australasian Association, driving you home on this sunny Friday afternoon on SYN. Good afternoon, Melbourne. It is 8 minutes past 3. That was Mario with Stuttering, a cult favourite of all ours.
Yep. And the clubs as well.
I had a uni open day, which I volunteered, me being the good student that I am, on Sunday for RMIT. And as a payment, because, you know, unis don't really pay you in cash if you're a student, they paid me with generously, one Village Cinemas movie voucher. One movie voucher.
So are you going to go alone?
Go alone. That's exactly, that's it. Why would you give me one movie ticket to go watch a movie when, you know...
Well, so that if you go on a date, you only have to pay for another one.
Oh, great. This is good to see that you got this link back from 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But no, why would you give one ticket? Like, it's kind of a lonely prize, is it not? A lonely reward.
But it's because only you volunteered, right? So why don't you get together with another volunteer who has another free movie ticket?
Oh,
together.
Yeah, you go together and go freely watch a movie.
It's the perfect setup for a date.
Oh.
Think about it.
But most of the guys
RMIT is really trying to, like, breed their own kind together.
No, most of the people who did volunteer were guys and international students.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. No. But
with a bit of mandating.
Bit of mandate.
Yeah. Again, back to doing so.
Mandating, not bad.
No, but I want to, you know, one ticket. Like, that brings up the question: what would you not do alone? Because I certainly would not watch a movie by myself.
I couldn't do that. Oh, depends what movie. If it was something that a lot of people were going to, like a premiere or something, right? I could go along because it's, you know, the cinema is packed out. But if it's something that's not as popular, I guess I wouldn't really want to be sitting alone.
I wouldn't go to a restaurant alone.
Really? I've done that.
Cafe or restaurant?
Cafe is different. I can eat at a cafe, but like a sit-down dinner, can't do that by myself.
What about a buffet? Because I
couldn't do that.
I've seen lonely people sit down.
I think that's it looks even more lonely, the fact that you're stuffing your face with food and you're by yourself.
Especially if you're crying, that's bad as well.
I'm sure you would do that. I don't know what else.
I've seen it though, like at the local buffet, as well as those expensive ones like at Crown at the Langham Hotel.
It's probably because they've just gambled and then they're like, sweet.
There's some of this expensive stuff, and they sit there eating, and you know, there might be a conference and stuff from interstate.
Like a business trip.
Sure, but wow, like buffet, you know, that's quite lonerish, eh? You reckon?
Yeah. But I think that a sit-down dinner would be worse, like a 3-course meal type of thing.
You just sit down and you just eat there. I mean, like, there was that one scene in Forgetting About Sarah Marshall where the guy comes and he sits down at a restaurant that has all these couples. Yeah. And he's like, and what the waiter says, oh, man, what are you going to do? You know, aren't you going to be, like, bored or something? Do you want a magazine? Because, like, everybody there was a couple, so...
But I guess if you're comfortable enough and you can entertain yourself, like, there's no big deal.
Yeah.
But it's... I guess that's why with a buffet it's okay, because you're constantly just eating. But at a 3-course meal, you'd have to, like, you know, pause for some conversation, which would not exist.
But when you go by yourself, you're there to do business, and that's just to eat, and make the most of your $75 or whatever it costs.
Oh, you mean buffet?
Yeah, buffet.
I'm talking about, like, a sit-down. Like, what would you do between courses? Yeah. Like, do you just sit there?
No, you're there to do your thing. You're there to eat. But
between courses, you have nothing to do.
Yeah,
buffet is like a constant flow.
Bring a newspaper. I've seen, you know, like breakfast, sit down and read a newspaper while you eat.
I think breakfast, like, you know, at a cafe and stuff like that, it's fine. Like, you have your magazines and your newspapers and stuff.
Also, hot pot. Can't do that alone.
But that's all you can eat as well, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Oh, and also theme parks.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do that.
What else?
And karaoke. I'm just going to keep listing it. Yeah, just
karaoke. I know people that go by themselves.
To go practice it when they
practice?
when they go out.
Not practice. They have nothing to do, and they're like, "Oh, I've got like 2 hours."
Oh, really? Usually people go to karaoke because they're depressed. They go by themselves and they want to sing.
And they drink.
Yeah, and the ballads and stuff.
Would you ride a Ferris wheel by yourself? Was that a little bit? Yeah.
It depends if there's couples around me.
Well, there's couples everywhere, right, guys? You can walk down a city street and feel kind of lonerish.
Well, then I wouldn't walk down the city street alone.
It's kind of depressing on Valentine's Day as well, eh? A little bit. If you're single, then yes, it is.
You just don't go out on Valentine's Day when you're single.
Or just stay at home, watch
I think
the
you guys should
DVD,
stay at home.
watch a box set of Boston Legal and see how we go.
Another thing that you'd never do alone is take on a basketball team in a basketball match.
Oh, that's very creative.
It's like
You're on the wrong course if you can come with material like that. Drop out and start doing comedy because that's 5-star material.
Thank you.
Oh, jeez. For you right now, we have Neo Ghostface Killer with
Get Down Like That.
Get Down Like That. You're on Sin. Good afternoon, Melbourne. It is 3:22. You're on Air on Sin.
And that was Sweetest Girl with Wyclef Jean.
Jean. Just a quick shout out to Rex. He says that he can't go to the pub by himself, and he's been to the movies plenty of times by himself. As well as Emma. And also, hello, Emma.
Hi, Emma.
But yeah. Oh yeah, by the way, if you want to send us a text message, you can send us via SMS 0427767767 or web SMS if you're cheap at sin.org.au/listen.
So with us, I'd say English is probably our first language.
First
Can you
language,
say that? Yeah.
Yep.
But for our parents,
despite our physical appearance, yeah.
but for our parents, it probably isn't. Or
This is true.
yeah. So growing up, I think you pick up a couple of words along the way that aren't really classified as English words or ones that have been sort of manipulated to become
English.
I've
got a
but it's not
couple.
really. Yeah, so it's like a household thing, and you think that it's legitimate English, but when you walk out into the real world, everyone laughs at you.
That's what happens if you're from the Southeast Asia, the richer part of Southeast Asia.
So, some examples?
When I was in year one, my primary school, year one teacher told me that the word axie, which I thought meant arrogant, is actually not a word. So I tried to ask my teacher, how do you spell axie? He goes, well, what does axie mean? Oh, it means arrogant. He goes, arrogance the word. He goes, what? Axie's not a word? No, it's not a word.
Where did axie come from?
I don't know, it's a Malaysian. I think it's a Malaysian slang.
Axie.
Because if I go to a Malaysian person and they say axie, they actually understand what it means.
So it's Malay? Or
No, I don't know. I think, or maybe just no word at all.
because I know some of them are like Chinese words or something that kind of come across. Like in Singapore, because you know how they use English and all these other languages.
Yeah,
So it becomes
Singlish, yes.
yeah. So it becomes like English, but it's not.
Yeah, I don't know. I used it in normal sentences and stuff. But what have you picked up, Lou?
Well, I know a friend,
A friend.
a friend whose parents used to call a cordless phone something completely different. I don't actually remember.
That's great. That was brilliant.
Cutlass?
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 Cutlass phone?
I don't know. something
Cutlass.
like
A cutlass phone?
Yeah.
Cutlass.
And so when you're out with your friends and you say something like that, it's bad. Or, so for example, my dad, he comes into my room and he's just like, why is your room such a pig style?
Pig style.
I'm like, what?
Pig style?
And I used to say that as well. And he also can't pronounce lawyer.
How does he say
He
it?
says loyal.
Loyal.
Yeah. So that for me, the first, 8 years of my life.
So that's scarred you. That's scarred. You scarred your vocab,
I
and
think
yet
so.
you're doing arts. You managed to,
Managed to
jump over
scrape
that
through.
hurdle and make it into become art.
I mean, look at Shakespeare. He made up his own words and he was brilliant. So maybe.
So,
Like
Maybe.
for me, I've picked up
what Korean slang have you got?
resently.
Resently.
Resently. Recently becomes resently. That's how my parents said.
Oh, just the pronunciation.
Resently. So yeah. And also, instead of saying Chicago Bulls, my parents thought it was called Chicago Bullshit. I have no idea why they had to add the last bit on, but they were just like, oh, Michael Jordan playing Chicago Bullshit. I'm like, what? No. So yeah.
But talking about English.
Sounds like a bad parody or something.
So it's like, where do you pick up these words from? Seriously.
What a bad pronunciation. Like, a lot of people come down here with accents. And even if you're a first generation born in Australia, you have that accent, that the whole, like, for example, Vietnamese people tend to say Ekbok instead of Xbox. And Next Blue, which was a club in New Crown, is now Neck Blue. You gotta love it. Look, it's not a racial thing, but it's just funny to listen to.
But do you think that it's like, I find it's also if you go to a certain place for a while,
Yeah,
you
pick it
tend
up.
to you're conditioned.
You're conditioned to
Yeah,
say.
you're conditioned to say it like that, just because they understand what you're like. They will only understand what you're saying if you say it like them, kind of.
Yeah, that's true.
So you bring it back here.
But it's kind of also like which word, like the pronunciation's like, I've heard a lot of people say appreciate instead of appreciate.
Often and off. Well, yeah, okay. Yeah, I understand
Stuff
what
like
you
that, Appreciate.
Appreciate.
Yes.